Often said here on the show just how wise our late and wonderful monarch Queen Elizabeth was. And let's be honest, that happens, I think, to anyone who gets to such a wonderful age. Everybody out there who watches this show, and I know there are a few of us who are over a certain age, you just have a wiseness, don't you? You've been there before. You've seen it, you've felt it, you've sort of gone through it. You think, I've met you before, I've seen this sort of character. And it really informs you of how different you need to be. And perhaps you deal with it far differently, say, in your 20s, 30s, 40s. When you get to your, say, 70s or even 80s, you think, I know how to deal with you. Now, what's interesting is a developing story that's coming out over this particular weekend is how, in fact, her late and wonderful monarch, Her Majesty the Queen, Queen Elizabeth II, truly felt about this particular incident regarding, of course, the former role known as Meghan Markle. As ever, let me explain. Hi, good morning. How are you? Nice to see you in a very rainy, dismal London. If you're over here right now, oh, apologies for the weather. Well, apologies wherever you are in the United Kingdom. If you've got terrible floods or all that sort of stuff, really, love and wishes and hearts and prayers, everything truly go out to you. Awful, isn't it, when your place gets flooded? And it's not just necessarily the initial thing, it's the months after, isn't it? I think that's a terrible thing. Terrible weather. Let's hope it passes apparently very soon, but we are in the depths of coming up to winter, as they say now. I know, cheery stuff, isn't it? Beautiful flowers, at least, behind me. Let me get back to your royal story of the day. Many people still were very amazed, none more so than our late and wonderful monarch, at this particular, shall we say, rebuke from basically Meghan and Harry. Because if you recall, of course, Thomas Markle was going to be walking his daughter down the aisle, and then suddenly, abruptly, this really erupted because allegedly he told TMZ, that is a celebrity site first, that he wouldn't be attending the royal wedding. Now, in fairness to him, I would say he didn't tell them because, he told them. They asked him, and the bottom line was they got it, an exclusive. I know how these celebrity sites work. They're very clever, very maneuvering, and all of that sort of stuff. Now, either way, I'm not sure if money passed hands. I'm not sure. But what I would say is it was remiss on his part. He should have at least had the courtesy to inform Kensington Palace, or indeed maybe his daughter. But at that point, allegedly, he couldn't make contact with her because phone numbers had changed. Now, what's interesting here is the Queen basically said, offered anything for her and Harry to reach out to Thomas. Private planes, the Queen's private plane was offered for both of them or her individually to go out and basically see him, see what the problem was, the issue. She knew after many years of experience on the throne that this played out badly, particularly where illness is concerned. She'd had vast experience of this, as one could imagine. And this now, according to new papers that have been sifted through, was something that really alerted her to exactly what could be coming around the corner, as one could imagine. She just could not fathom the fact that Meghan would not drop everything on a private jet, as we've seen, loves private jets, quite happy to jump on them at a whim to go off and see her ailing father, find out what the problem was. And also, she found it very perplexing that Prince Harry had yet to even meet him, wasn't even too fussed about going to meet him, allegedly. And the Queen apparently pushed Harry on this, which resulted in something of a fracas. All of this is, as I say, coming out in the next few days. It's going to be fascinating stuff, but it does give you an insight into the battles that already our late and wonderful monarch was going through, and possibly the alert bells, the red light sirens that must have been spinning around inside the crown, thinking, what's going on here? But as ever, there's two versions of events. Meghan's version of events is that they fell out with him simply because he talked to the press. Clearly, there's a bigger issue, and that is now circling in. Neil Sean in the very heart of London.